Okay, peeps, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about the Kurv Invest ETFs that are currently paying a massive dividend, and are they worth it? Let's get it. So we came across this recently. We were just kind of browsing through YouTube, seeing what was out there, what was going on, and we came across these Kurv Yield Premium Strategy ETFs. So we've done a little bit of research already, but we're going to take a look into it with you guys so you know what we're talking about here in case you are not aware of what these are. We weren't either. So I believe that this is the same company that backs the SPYI ETF, which is NEOS. I could be wrong about that, but if that's not quite right, feel free to leave a comment. That's fine. But so yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at these. So it says Curve Yield Premium Strategy ETFs are focused on generating monthly cash flow through diversified sources, including harvesting covered call options premiums. So again, here we go again with the covered call premiums, basically dividends and interest income. So that's interesting. If we take a look at the list of ETFs here, you'll notice that none of these companies, I mean, these are all big tech companies, but none of it, well, okay, two of them pay dividends. So Microsoft and Apple pay dividends, but the rest of them do not. So perhaps that's what they mean when they say dividends. And interest income most likely is from the high yielding bond yields currently, since the Fed is still having their rate hikes sit at all-time highs. So with that being said, you get a whole list of ETFs here. You basically get Amazon, Apple, Google, Microsoft, Netflix, and Tesla. So that's pretty much 6 of the 7 magnificent 7 stocks. The only one that's missing is NVIDIA. So let's go ahead and take a look at these. We'll just click on one. So everybody loves Tesla, so we'll go ahead and probably start with that one. So the ticker symbol for this one is TSLP. You guys can see all the ticker symbols here in our ETFs tab. I'll leave this in the description for you guys below. So if you're curious as to where to find this, you just go to the description, click on the link, and you'll be able to be taken straight to this website to look at these for yourself. So we'll go over this kind of synopsis first. So it says benefits of Kurv's Yield Premium Strategy ETF, enhanced income strategies focused on generating monthly cash flow through diversified multiple sources, including harvesting covered call options premiums, dividends, and interest income. It's dynamic optimization, balance between income and capital appreciation. This is a big deal right here. Notice this statement. It says that they're trying to balance out both income and basically upside moves in the price. This is what a lot of us that have invested in the yieldmax ETFs have wanted to see. Of course, we've already gone through that ad nauseum with you guys. So we'll actually take a look at the price towards the end of this video on these, but just take note of that. It says lower beta to underlying stock could be used as a defensive substitute for single stock investments. So not really sure what that means. These are all mostly high beta stocks, I would say, probably with the exception of Apple and Microsoft. It says option-based strategies offer various tax advantages. Investment objective, curve yield premium strategy, and then you could put whatever ticker symbol you want in here. I'm sure they're probably pretty similar. Seeks to provide current income while maintaining the opportunity for exposure to the share price of the common stock of Tesla Inc., subject to a limit on potential investment gains. Now, I'm not entirely sure if this is actually, they hold the actual underlying shares of Tesla, or if this is another synthetic covered call version. I'm looking here, but I'm not seeing anything. This is like a whole bunch of legalese, so I don't really care too much about that. I'm sure you guys don't either. So I guess the main point here is it says the opportunity for exposure to the share price of the common stock of Tesla. So that could possibly mean it's synthetic. We'll take a look at that in a minute. So here's your ticker symbol. The listing exchange is the CBOE. That is where some of the futures contracts are traded, like the Dow Jones and the interest rate futures contracts and so on, just so you all know. Here's your CUSIP number, the inception date, so it's basically only a month old. The net expense ratio is 0.99%. I'm assuming when they say net, that basically means the amount that's going to be taken out against the amount of shares that you hold at the time that they withdraw that. Uh, the NAV calculation time for those of you on the East Coast would be at 4 p.m. So if you're interested in that, that would be your time right there. They do pay out monthly dividends. The current price, as you guys can see, is pretty much higher than anything in yieldmax, so that's good. And yeah, I mean, the rest is pretty self-explanatory. You can see the premium discount historical data right there on that tab. And here is kind of the underlying information about basically what's going on with their trades. So here's the piece that y'all are interested in. So check this out. This is the TSLP Tesla, as you can see up here on the tab. And this is the current dividend payment for the TSLP, basically monthly dividend. So what I want to show you guys here is we're actually going to look this up. So TSLP. Now, as you guys can see, the price of TSLP, which tracks Tesla, has gone up substantially during the time frame that it's been in inception. So I'm actually going to give me a second here. I'm going to move these pivot points because if I look at these on the higher time frames with you guys, you're going to get confused and not be able to see much. There's a reason why I have those there, but they're not relating to dividend paying stocks. So we're going to go out again on the weekly. We'll take a look at TSLY. And this is not to knock yieldmax. I just want to do like a price comparison real quick. So you can see our low back here on October 23rd. And you can see TSLP has moved up substantially. Basically to the close, you're up about 12.9%. If we do a very similar thing with TSLY, you can see basically from close to close, we're actually down 2%. So notice the difference here between TSLY and TSLP. TSLP does indeed have price appreciation potential, at least with a little bit of data that we have so far. So the other thing that I want to point out is if I actually go back here to the Tesla ETF, just to give you guys a quick example, so you can see that the most current distribution rate was 58 cents. With the TSLP, you're talking 57 cents. They both pay monthly, and yet you get roughly about the same dividend, but also the upside appreciation with TSLP. Now, does that mean that the TSLY ETF could not appreciate and also, basically appreciate like TSLP and still even pay a higher dividend than what it currently is? No, I don't think so. I think TSLY does have some upside. It's just a matter of them getting the trades in to where they can actually take advantage of that with what the strategy is that they use. So let's get rid of one of these here real quick. So this is basically what the dividend payment is for TSLP. We'll take a look at some of these other ones. So you got Netflix here. Again, pretty much all of this information is the same. The only thing that's different is the ticker symbol, and that's NFLP. So you get 43 cents on this one. That's pretty good. Here's your Microsoft version. For people that are into more like growth style big tech companies, Microsoft would definitely probably be your best bet. Just my opinion, of course. 26 cents. Here's the Google version. Yeah, as you guys can see here, pretty much all the information is the same. So again, this one's 26 cents. AAPY. I don't know why I wanted to say APLY. Sorry about that. So this is 33 cents. Again, this version is actually paying more than Apply. Apply, I believe, was 17 cents. So that's pretty interesting. And then the Amazon, it's the Amazon version. Everything is the same. And you get about 32 cents on this one. So AMZ is actually paying more than this one is. So in terms of where you guys can buy these, well, they are available on Robinhood. So we type in Kurv, you guys can see that we have our portfolio pulled up here. You just type in Kurv and you'll get all these different ticker symbols that you can buy on Robinhood. Also, a very similar thing here. So we type in Kurv on Webull. You get all the different, what is this? The Kurv Invest ETFs here, and the BATS. Just so you guys know, that's the market maker, or basically the exchange that clearinghouse, I believe is what it's called, where they basically clear the trades for you. So going back to the Kurv Invest website, there is one other thing that I wanted to point out to you guys before we pop out of this video, and we'll probably do a more in-depth video as to what exactly their strategy is and how they do it and so on in another video. But for the sake of this video, we're just going to keep it relatively simple and on the surface. So the other thing I wanted to point out is that the distribution rate for the Kurv Invest ETFs is actually different than all of the other high paying ones. So you got Clip, you got the yieldmax ETFs, and you got the Defiance ETFs. So notice this, okay? The payment date is roughly about the third week of the month for the Kurv Invest. You get your so the Clip ETF, as you guys can see here, is pretty much right smack dab at the middle or the end of the month. The yieldmax ETFs is around the second week. And the Defiance ETFs, as you guys can see here, pays at the start of the month or roughly about the first week. So there's two things with this. Number one, you're basically getting paid high yield dividends from different companies, as you can see here, or different platforms pretty much every single week of the month, if that's something you want. And also on top of that, if you're using the dividend capture strategy, basically buying into these before the X date, you could really take advantage of some serious compounding between these four. So with that being said, we're actually going to take a look at some of the ticker symbols in terms of price. So we took a look at Tesla. Let's take a look at the NFLP. So yeah, this is, so you can see it's the NEOS ETF. I believe this is actually the same as the SPYI. So basically from the start to where it is currently, it's up about 6%. Let's take a look at the next one, MSFY. And just so y'all know, I do not have this added to my overall watch list over here on the right because we already have like 200 different things that we're watching. So it's kind of really a lot. Okay, so MSFY kind of had like a kind of a really huge pullback here, but it's still up 5% basically over the last month. So that's still not bad. So you got GOOP, do GOOP. So yeah, this one, wow, this one's really, really up there. Look at how big this increase is. Almost a whopping 7% over a month. That's massive. Let's see. So you got AAPY and AMZP. So AAPY had a pretty large increase, as you guys can see here, for those of you guys that care about the capital appreciation. And of course we do too. You know, we want to see our overall capital go up in value. That's part of the reason why we're in crypto and not just dividend paying stocks. So the last one would be AMZP. These ticker symbols are really confusing, especially after you look at so many different ones, similar initials and all that jazz. Okay, so looks like Amazon was also up 6.6%. So yeah, these do indeed have some upside potential. I'm pretty much every single one of them has gone up. Now, one last thing I wanted to point out in this video. We don't actually have that portfolio pulled up, but on M1 Finance, as I was looking through there, I did notice under the research tab that you can now purchase the triple QY Defiance ETF, not JEPY, but the triple QY. You can now purchase that one on M1 Finance. At least at the time of this recording, it may or may not change. I don't know, but as of right now, that is an option on M1 for those of you that want additional options. I've noticed some YouTubers out there didn't really like that they don't have a lot of options, so that's another option. Just wanted to update you guys on that. But anyways, this is our Kurv Invest ETFs, and you know whether they're worth it or not. In my opinion, I think they are, at least on the surface. We'll just have to wait and let time play out and kind of tell us whether these really do perform well over the long run or not. So yeah, if y'all are interested in this, please leave a comment down below, like, subscribe, and we will see y'all later. Peace.